This is Amateur Logic, episode 92 for June 15th, 2016. This episode of Amateur Logic was brought to you by MFJ, the world leaders in ham radio accessories at mfjenterprises.com, and by Icom, reminding you field day is June 25th and 26th. Well, hello and welcome to a recorded live before a studio audience episode of Amateur Logic. But right now, let's bring in a new guy here on the Icom amateur team, Will Jourdain, and you've got new call letters, AA4WJ.
That's me, yes sir.
I will, and you'll probably have to eat this microphone because doesn't really work very well otherwise.
It looks like it's high in fiber, so it's probably good for me.
So, what is your title now with Icom?
Well, my official title is Amateur Sales Representative, and maybe one day they'll promote me to Professional Sales Representative.
Huh, good point. Good
Punchline.
point. Yeah.
We need sound effects.
Yep. So, Ray moved over into sales across the company products, and he was doing most all of the amateur stuff before, and they need someone else to take in, and you were nominated.
That's right. Ray is now our national sales manager for Land Mobile products as well as amateur. So he's got a whole lot more under his umbrella than he's had in years past. So they brought me on board to help out and handle some of the day-to-day with the amateur division, travel around and meet all these nice new people at all these nice shows around the country.
So this is the first Dayton you've worked at, isn't it?
This is actually my second Dayton.
Oh, you were here?
Dayton was my very first show with Icom as an employee last year. So I'd never been to Dayton before, period. And it was also my first show with Icom, so it was a sensory overload, I guess you could say. But this year, we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you meeting a lot of good hams here?
I'm meeting all the good hams here. Everybody's here. Everybody's friendly, and I'm having a great time meeting everybody, getting to know some more folks, seeing some good old friends, making some good new ones, having a great time.
All right, you may have to hold that up a little bit closer there because I noticed that it looks like they might be having some problems hearing. All right. So let me ask you a question. I think I know, but what seems to be the hottest thing in the booth here this year?
Well, what I've been saying today is that we brought all of our radios with us, every one of them. But the only one that anybody wants to look at is the new IC7300. That is by far the hottest thing we have going at the moment.
Sounds like it's on the edge of the
Yeah, I can understand why. When we got to play with that thing with Ray, that's really a lot of radio packed into a small package.
It's I like to say that it punches above its weight class. It only weighs 9.5 pounds, but it punches like a 60-pound radio.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, what are the main features that people are interested in? I like George. I think I know too. I know the ones that really catch my eye.
Well, of course, the big headliner is the fact that it's an SDR,
right.
a software-defined radio. It's got all the benefits of a software-defined radio inside, and all the presentation of your traditional ham radio on the outside. So from across the room, it looks just like an Icom. You can spot it, pick it out of a crowd. It's got some other cool things built in. Of course, that 4.3-inch color touchscreen is great. It makes it nice and fast to operate. It brings a lot of the features and functionality that used to be maybe buried a little bit deeper in those multi-menus closer to the surface. Makes it faster to use, easier to use, saves you some time in the shack.
Yeah, it's the touchscreen on it was pretty nice. I love the waterfall display and being able to just touch on what you see, and it tunes right to there.
That tap to tune,
Yeah,
it's handy.
Very nice, very nice. The IC7300, the new one.
Yeah, we kind of got a little sneak preview on that thing, and when I first saw it, I said, man, if this is as good as it looks, they've knocked it out of the water.
And we had high hopes and high expectations for that radio when we first got our hands on it, and it's surpassed every one of them so far.
Yeah, and I've only heard good things about it from people who bought them. So congratulations to Icom, everyone there, particularly the designers and testers who really put this thing through the paces and got it right.
Absolutely, they did a marvelous job, and they are certainly to be applauded for their efforts.
Well, they are. Well, Will, we appreciate y'all having us here at the Icom booth again this year to shoot another AmateurLogic. And we're going to get on with some more guests here.
Boy, does that feel good to sit down.
Yeah, I bet.
We've got a set of headphones here, especially for you if you want some. These are the Heil headphones. We all like those.
I love them. But I'm going to be headphone-less.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
However you like.
Look at all these good folks out here, huh?
Yeah, it's good to see you.
How are you?
Good. I haven't got to talk to you yet today.
I know.
Yeah, we just barely got to meet over in the forum a little while earlier.
We did, and I had to duck out early because I was doing meeting and greeting brand new hams. Do we need more kids or what?
Absolutely.
Well, we've
Yeah.
got them here at Dayton 16. I think their volunteer examiners are so happy because we have so many kids. Look at them. Look at them. They're all over the place. So our wish has come true. Kids getting into ham radio, getting some Icom great handheld products, and getting on the air.
Well, that's always a great thing there. So what do you think? Have we got a hit this year?
Well, every year that folks come together at Dayton and bring their kids, we certainly do have a hit. And I think this has been one of the largest crowds that I've seen in probably the last 10 years. And we're so fortunate to have not bad weather, only a little bit of snow. Well, not quite snow.
No.
A little blizzard. No, not at all. Great sunshine out there, on and off. But it's been a great year here at Dayton 2016. How about you, George? What do you think?
Oh, it's been great. We haven't got our chance to make the runs through the flea market or even all of the indoor venues here yet. But after the show this evening, that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the flea market, did you get a chance to get out there and do a little flea market, Tommy?
I haven't, not at all yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, we're going to hit it this afternoon, and tomorrow we're going to do that before the show ends too.
Oh, that is terrific. And the big mission and the big message in our booth has been certainly get an upgrade, certainly get into ham radio, but before you go to the next level, get on the air. That's where the real learning is. So when we meet someone that has a brand new tech license, they say, well, I think I'll go for general. No, get on the air. Get some Icom equipment, HF and V and UHF, and get on the air. That's where the real learning of ham radio is, huh?
I'm glad to hear you say that because I tell people that myself. If you're a technician, enjoy it. There's so much that you can do. Don't worry about upgrading. If you want to, fine, but it's not a requirement.
Yeah, it's nothing like that experience of getting on the air. You'll learn more doing that than you will reading books. The books are great, but the real life experience is the best.
Well, yep, and that's what we've seen today. So we're so proud of those of you that are helping teach ham radio. In fact, we have our new extra class book just came out, and so many instructors came up saying, I'm teaching classes, but I'm not teaching tech or general or extra. I'm teaching how to get on the air.
Awesome. That's good because a lot of folks have trouble making that transition. They pass all the tests, but pushing that button the first time is kind of difficult sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a friend just got his ticket, and I talked him into getting it, but he's still got that mic fright, so we're working on that.
Oh, that's great. Well, and with Icom equipment, someone said, well, but I might not have the right antenna, and I might blow up my Icom, my brand new Oh, no. Icom equipment is so well protected that I say, hey, look at the power output. If it's not 100 watts, don't blame the radio. Get working on your antenna. And, well, maybe a tuner? No, as Bob Heil has told us, get up there and tune that antenna, and then you'll have a great signal.
Yep. So tell us a little bit about your instructors program here, because you changed what you do just well, in the last few years here. You're focused more on instructors than in doing all the instructing yourself.
Well, we feel that so many, George and Tommy, of our hams that are here today and out throughout the world are built-in instructors. So we encourage them to get started in teaching ham radio classes, Elmering classes, and they all say, well, I could use a guideline. So the W5YI group have published my book. It says Instructor's Guide, and it's free. One for tech, one for general, one for extra, because we'd like to turn all of these great folks we see here at the Icom America booth into teaching classes, getting more kids, wives into ham radio, and making it happen on the air.
And Gordo, you certainly have the best books around for doing this. My son, he was 30 years old before he got interested in ham radio. He got your technician class license, and he called me and he said, Dad, this makes it so plain. I understand what's going on. He explains it so well, and we really appreciate you doing that, because some of the questions, just if you've never covered this area, you don't know, and you make it so clear.
Well, I appreciate that, George and Tommy, and it's fun sort of translating ham radio to those getting started, or general or extra on those that need a little help and better understanding. And certainly watching AmateurLogic as well as Ham Nation with all the great stuff that you two do make the real world of ham radio come to light, and that is passing the test is certainly like a prerequisite, but the real learning begins on the air or on the test bench.
Yeah. So you mentioned Ham Nation. Of course, we've been on that show together for a number of years now. And I know Bob has given us his impressions of the beginning of the show and whether or not there would be a second one. What's your feeling on this? How has it come over the years?
Well, Ham Nation is an exciting podcast, but the best part probably is at the end with Amanda taking and presenting all the notes that those folks are following on their keyboard as we're doing the show. But afterwards, we all get on the air on 40 and 20 meters, and that's where we really have fun working those that tune in, and that is going live with our great audience.
Yeah, there again, on the air. There's nothing like it. If you're a new ham, get out there. Don't be scared of that mic. Get on the air. So many modes with the digital things that we've got nowadays. Technician class, entry level. The world's wide open.
Well, and that's what we're going to continue to do on Ham Nation, and I know you do loud and clear on AmateurLogic as well as your university. I've been tuning into your school, and I think it's terrific, all the points that you present using the Icom America gear and other great gear.
Well, thank you, Gordo. And we've been hearing from a lot of people on that. Of course, we've been at it over a year and still haven't gone through the whole technician pool yet, but we're hearing from a lot of people who are getting licensed, getting on the air, and, we're just giving them a little gentle shove in that direction, and they're picking it up. Yeah.
Not to be scared of the questions. They're not that hard. So if we can get up there and answer them, pretty much anybody can.
And we guide them to the Gordon West Technician Class license study material.
Well, I appreciate that. But again, we want to get them through the test and then on the air. And this is what's so exciting about this Icom America booth. No brown boxes, live gear. I don't know how long it takes you to set up all this live gear. Look at these happy hams out there. You can tell they've been dialing around all day. So we certainly compliment Icom America for being such a strong supporter of Ham Nation, but even more a strong supporter for hams like you and me that just have to go over there and turn the dial And I don't know how they do it, George, but this stuff is like got antennas or something, but this is not equipment just sitting there waiting for something. It's on the air and making things happen.
So I've got to ask this because I don't know the answer to it. Have you fried any pickles this weekend?
Well, I've been noted to fry pickles, but you know, we've been so busy. This has probably been a record crowd for the last, 10 or 15 years. And no, I haven't fried a pickle, but I've got several pieces of Icom America gear that I haven't fried either. So this is actually good. So nothing fried at Dayton.
Nothing
Good
fried.
News, huh?
Yeah, although it is kind of entertaining to see the pickles.
Yeah. You had me key up on a pickle once or twice, and it's a different experience.
Well, it really is. Well, I would like to thank both of you, Tommy and George, for having me aboard. Most important, Icom America for all their support, their band charts and grid square maps and just all the great stuff that Icom does. So they have my vote. Of course, I have their equipment, and many of it 10, 15, 20 years old, and it just keeps on coming. Anybody out there with an old Icom 720? Yeah, there's a couple hands. Well, we know how long that gear lasts, so thank you all for making ham radio happen out there, and thank you both for making ham radio happen behind the screen.
Thank you, Gordo. We
Yeah.
appreciate you taking a little time out of your
thank you
busy
so much.
schedule.
Thank you.
It's great to see you, and we will see you Wednesday night on Ham Nation.
Right, and be there afterwards. I'll be on 40, and I'll look forward to working you on HF. Icom HF.
73, Gordo.
73. This year at Dayton Hamvention, MFJ introduced the new MFJ 1886 wideband receiving loop. This antenna covers all the way from 500 kilohertz for the standard AM broadcast band through 30 megahertz with no tuning required. You can dig out previously unreadable signals and track down annoying sources of interference with the MFJ 1886. This receive loop gives you tremendous power to copy weak signals through impossibly strong levels of QRN or QRM. Its superbly direct development and bulletproof low-noise preamp dig out buried signals normally lost when using wire antennas. You'll get the perfect loop balance for deep, precise nulls. The dual MMIC push-pull preamplifier provides wide dynamic range. Phantom power is provided to the preamp through your coax by the included AC adapter and bias tee. The indestructible aircraft-grade 36-inch aluminum loop offers great portability at 2.5 pounds, and the tough-molded weatherproof enclosure is perfect for outdoor installations. It mounts with regular TV hardware. Its standard U-bolts work with any conventional 1 3/4-inch mast, and all mounting hardware is included. This loop is a powerful tool that will help you locate those noise sources you can suppress and null out those that you can't. Hear the signals you never knew were there with the new MFJ 1886 wideband receiving loop antenna. Check out this and the world's largest selection of ham radio accessories at mfjenterprises.com today. What have you been up to? We know you like to build kits.
Yes, I do. In fact, Dayton is one of the places where I pick up a lot of kits. I picked up one from the UK. I think it comes from Kanga, US, and it was $40. And I thought, well, this is pretty good for a CW receiver. Mm-hmm. And then I discovered that it has an LCD screen, and it actually will decode the CW. So you can make a kit that not only receives but decodes it.
Wow, now that's pretty cool because decoding CW, we know we can do that on a full-size computer, but seeing it in kit form is I don't know that I've really seen it in kit form before.
No, I haven't either, and I think that's wonderful. And so I thought I'd build it and write about it. Every month I take a couple of kits, 1 or 2 kits, and I build and write about them.
For CQ Magazine.
CQ Magazine.
Yeah, you've been doing that quite a while, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been about 7 years since the November 2009 issue. I started writing for CQ every month, and it's become quite popular. So I really enjoy doing it and enjoy teaching people how to solder and how to put together kits and talk about the different kits that are available, because it's always changing. That's the constant in ham radio, is things are always changing.
Yeah,
and so we have some companies that don't make kits anymore and some that do. And so I try to keep up with that and let people know where there are actually kits available to build, because putting your hands on a circuit board and putting the parts on the board, I think, is an essential skill in amateur radio.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've actually got a couple of kits at the house that I want to get together here sometime pretty soon.
You've got, what is it, the oscilloscope kit? Is one that I know Joe's built before.
Yeah, I've got that one, and I've got a 20-meter transmitter kit.
Yeah, the oscilloscope kit has probably been one of the more popular ones that I've written about, but the most popular one I have written about is the $12 component analyzer. It's sold as a transistor tester, but it tests everything: capacitors, resistors, inductors, everything. And it identifies the part, tells you if it's working, its value, its gain, which lead is connected to which wire. It's very easy to work with, and that has become very, very popular amongst my kit builders.
Yeah, those are great. The ones that are actually practical that you can put to use, there's nothing like that.
Exactly. You can take an unknown part and it will tell you exactly what it is and what each lead is.
Yeah.
So what have you seen here at Dayton? I mean, have you found any new kits that you're going to have to get and take back and put together for us?
Well, that first one is definitely one that I'm going to put together. There are a couple others. I saw the open source QRP transceiver, and that one incorporates the same decoder circuit. And there were several other smaller kits that I picked up that will get put together and written about. The main thing is that people should know that there are still kits out there, and there are plenty of them. And sometimes they're not easy to find at your local ham fest, but keep looking because they're there. Once again, you also have companies that have changed management. I know Hendrix Kits is now QRPKits.com, Pacific Antenna. So it's combined with the man that puts together Pacific Antenna, the portable HF antennas, and now he's got that whole line of kits and a whole nother line of kits called Easy Kits that are very simple, no more than an hour or two each to put together.
Okay.
Very easy to do, and they're little modules. You can make a whole QRP transceiver out of it, a TR switch, a transmitter, a receiver, a bandpass filter, all sorts of things.
Oh, nice.
And then there's another kit maker called QRP Guys, and they make a keyer kit. It's like $24.95, and it's a paddle with an electronic keyer on it, and with memories and everything. I was really surprised.
Oh, cool. Wow. So did you speak at one of the forums this time?
Yes, I did, and I was very glad that we had a full crowd. The room was absolutely full. We did that yesterday at noon. And it was a great chance to have a couple of kit makers talk about what they're putting forward, as well as to talk about different techniques so that the kit builder will have the biggest chance of success. Because I always say, if somebody buys a kit and fails and doesn't have any help, they will never buy a kit again.
I think you're right.
But if they succeed the first time, guess what they're going to do? They're not only going to do it again, they're going to get something bigger, and they're going to progress up.
Right.
And kits here range all the way from a $3 or $4 Chinese Pixie kit all the way up to DZ Kits. Has one, I can't remember how much it is, but it's a very elaborate transceiver with Heathkit style manuals.
Oh, cool.
And you don't have to do the surface mount. You do everything else, but not the surface mount. And most of the cables are pre-assembled.
Oh, no.
So we're still doing soldering. What do you use for solder now?
Right now I use 6337. It's made by several different manufacturers. Of course, Kester is the most common. But I use 6337. Now, most people say 6040 is the best, but actually 6337 is who my customers who are electronics plants are using. And I use, of course, rosin core and no clean. Yes, it does cost a little more, but it's very much worth it. Of course, you don't want to get it too thick because then you'll get shorts between close together terminals. So what you're going to want to do is use solder that's no thicker than the pad that you're soldering to. So I recommend .031 or .025 inch thickness. Those are the two thicknesses that are the most common. And then no clean rosin core solder. And I found that for a pound roll here today in the flea market for $22.
Really? Not Kester though, was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh wow, that is an excellent deal. That's the same solder I use. I really like the no clean flux.
Yeah, and the 6337, the reason that there's a difference is because it has a much shorter plastic state. And what that means is there's much less chance of a cold solder joint because it's not going to stay in that kind of a mushy state for very long. It's either going to be liquid or solid.
And, you know, I have not really thought about that and really noticed that specifically, but now that I think about it, yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Do seem to have less cold solder joints.
Yes, 6337 is great for it. And like I said, I was in this electronics plant, and they're all using the same thing. They're using the Kester 6337, rosin core, no clean, and 025 or 031, depending on the boards that they're working on. So the right solder is key to success. The other key to success is the right soldering iron. And you're not going to get that with a $6 pencil iron. You're going to get that with a variable temperature soldering station. Something that you can adjust the heat so that you're not too hot and you're not too cool.
Mm-hmm. And you vary that heat depending on what you're working on.
Exactly. Like if you're working on one of these kits where we're soldering PC boards together to make the case, obviously you're going to use a lot more heat, or on coax connectors or things like that. But when you're soldering ICs on a circuit board, you want it hot, but you don't want it too hot.
You don't use your soldering gun for that.
Nope, I sure don't. I was at a kit build a few months ago, and somebody pulled out a Weller 75-watt gun, and I thought, oh, we're in trouble. So I, of course, reached in the box and found a pencil iron for him.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, just curious, talking about solder, do you ever use that organic core solder?
I have not.
You haven't? That's George had some of it, and he actually ended up giving it to me. You remember that stuff?
Yeah, and you
probably pretty. I've still got it. It smells pretty bad when it melts.
Oh, it burned the hair right out of your nose, wouldn't it?
It's pretty smelly stuff.
Yeah, and in Europe, of course, they use lead-free, which has to be done at a higher temperature.
Yeah. So, what would you recommend to folks out here who've never built anything before? What's the best way to get started?
Best way to get started is to find the right tools first. And that would be a temperature controlled soldering station, which I've seen here for about $35 for a nice one. And then get the right solder, and then pick a kit that has a kind of a low parts count, something that's simple, and make sure you're working with a friend before you get going, because if you can get it done with somebody else and learn all the little tricks on how to bend the parts correctly and how to put them on the board and all the precautions you have to make, that's your biggest chance of success. And like I said, if you fail at it, you're not going to try it again.
Yeah, and be sure to hold the right end of the soldering iron.
Yes, definitely not like that picture that's been going around on the internet. And I also want to thank the folks at Icom. Yes, my big radio at home is a 7600. I also have a 706. That is my 6-meter window. It is always on 6 meters because I'm right in the middle of the country in Lincoln, Nebraska. So I listen to 6, and that's what tells me something's going on.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. Well, Joe, we appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes with us here today. Any final thoughts you want to leave everybody with?
Don't be afraid to build something, and the best way to do it is to get your club to do a group kit building experience. I know I put those on myself in different places. Do it as a group, and you won't fail.
That is good, and for those of you who do a lot of building, help the other guys, encourage them.
You bet. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Martin, how many years has MFJ been around now?
Well, we started in 1972, so that makes it 44 years, a long time.
All right, you may have to eat the mic here.
Okay.
We're having some
Yeah.
few issues there. 44, you said?
For 44 years. Been
Wow.
fun the whole time.
That's quite the accomplishment.
So, did you start it while you were in school, or just as you got out?
Well, when selling products, I was still a graduate student, but I had always done some selling and trading even as a kid, so I don't know what starting means, but
What got you interested in ham radio? You're from the Mississippi Delta.
from the Mississippi Delta. When I was in the Cub Scouts, I built a World War II Foxo crystal radio and used a old rusty razor blade and a old piece of pencil lead for the crystal detector. Never could get it to work, but that's what got me started in radio. And at age 8, I knew I wanted to be an electrical engineer.
You know, that's a blessing too, because so many kids now are in college and don't know what they want to do.
Well, that's true. That's true. I've always known what I wanted to do.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you started out with the crystal radio. What? I'm just kind of curious. What was actually the first MFJ product that you came up with?
Well, the first product was a CW filter, and it was back in the days when operational amplifiers were was high tech, and the radios back then, you know, this was during the days of separate separate transmitter, separate receiver, and selectivity. You know, you could hear most of the CW stations on each frequency, and so that was the reason for building the CW filter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And op amps were brand new back then, weren't
They
they?
had just come out. The very first ones of them had just come out. Yeah.
And I've heard, we've talked a lot before, and I've heard some of your stories of the early days. Just give us one good early story there on what it took to actually get the business going.
Well, back in the really early days when I was doing everything by myself, I used to take these bags of parts to the classes that I was teaching, and asked if any of the students wanted to put these bags of parts together for 25 cents a piece, and but that was MFJ's first production line.
Wow. So they'd get all the pieces for your kit and package them up and...
They would actually put the PC boards together and solder it together.
Very simple.
Okay.
Yeah, and and I used to see our local telephone repairman around town and ask him for a scrap telephone wire, and we use that wire to wire up all the filters.
Yeah, I've heard that story before. You said, "You're going to use that? Can I have it?" Well, that's some great stories there, and just a testament to how you've worked to build this company over the years into the largest manufacturer of ham radio accessories today.
Well, one of the things I really enjoyed doing was going to the Hamfest to display our products, and didn't have a car that would make it to the Hamfest, so I would go out and invite some of my students who had a car to go with me.
You had a tale about your wife's car, I seem to remember.
Oh yeah. I don't know how I ever got married to her, but there was one year I borrowed her brand new car, and I pulled a U-Haul trailer full of MFJ products up here to the Dayton Hamvention, and burned out her transmission.
Oh no!
And she married you anyway.
Yeah, she married me anyway.
Wow. So that was your first product. How many do you have altogether now? I know there are quite a few.
Well, we have over 2,000 different products.
2,000, wow.
Counting all the companies. Yeah. Of course, that includes everything.
Yeah. Well, you've really got some nice products there, some things that I know we wouldn't have access to otherwise if MFJ hadn't developed these products or taken on products that were about to be lost and brought those great companies back. What have you got new that may be of interest this year?
Well, we've got several things that we're working on, but some of the newer stuff that we have is we've got a new receiving loop that will allow you to operate on 80, 160, some of the lower bands, and be able to just kind of null out static crashes, and it's a very quiet antenna. You need to have a separate receive input or some kind of TR switch so you can switch that in when you use it. And then we have a new plug-and-play automatic antenna tuner that's tailored for your specific radio and really super fast, and it retails for only $159.95.
Yeah.
We've got a 5-band HF cobweb antenna, really small footprint for a 5-band antenna. This one is actually a dipole that's bent. All the ends are bent, so they're separate, independent dipole antennas.
That looks real interesting there. A small footprint, you get 5 bands out of it.
Yeah. Oh, it's very light, easy to put up. You can hardly see it. It's a great little antenna. Yeah. And we also have a new USB computer interface for $99.95 that allows you to operate all the new digital modes, things like PSK31 and slow scan TV and CW and JT65, Whisper, all of those modes.
Oh, nice. I've actually got the tuner you were talking about. I love that thing. I had one of the manual tuners. It was an MFJ tuner as well, and I loved it. But I tried the automatic one, and it kind of spoiled me, so I don't know if I'll be going back to the manual one anytime soon.
Those automatic tuners make you into a lazy person.
Yeah, well, it did immediately.
Make your band changing a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And you've also Ameritron is another MFJ company, and you've got a new amplifier, don't you?
Oh, we do. We've got the new 1306. It's a solid 1200 watt amplifier, totally solid state, and it covers 6 meters with full power interfaces to your radio. It's got all the computer built into the unit, and we've got an even newer amplifier than that, which is a 600 watt version that's coming out pretty soon. The ALS 606, it's going through FCC right now.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even know about that one.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have mentioned
that. We'll hope it gets on through and gets on the market quick then. Of course, you've got the high gain rotors that you've had for years. You're making new controllers to improve some of the functions of them.
Oh yeah. We've got some digital controllers, and we're going to eventually go to some non-contact directional indicators, but lots of digital ones, and they will retrofit to some of the older models too.
And of course, MFJ now has High Gain and Cushcraft. And is there another antenna company that you've got, or is that the two there?
Well, those are the two, plus, of course, MFJ makes their line of antennas too. But all the parts that you need for Cushcraft or High Gain, all the way back 25, 35, 40 years ago, are still available. And some of those antennas are still up, and people are still using them. And you know, I remember as a junior when I was at Mississippi State that I had bought a used 14 AVQ, and I never thought that we would still be making those.
And not only that, you didn't just sit on the products they had. You've introduced some new Cushcraft antennas too since.
Well, we've got a whole new series of multi-band vertical antennas, low profile, totally self-contained. You don't need any ground radios or counterpoles. Just put it up, and you can operate all the way from 80 meters through 6 meters with a single antenna. There's a version of the R9 at Cushcraft, and then there is the AV680 at High Gain, and they're all based on very current technology.
Cool. And of course, you've got more antenna analyzers than you could shake a stick at. I don't know how many antenna analyzers you got, but all the way from the early models that were real primitive, real inexpensive, up to the most modern gadgets there. What's the most popular one you've got now?
Well, the most popular one is still the MFJ 259C and MFJ 269C, but our brand new one, the MFJ 226, is that's becoming very, very popular. It's a full fledged vector network analyzer. It can do plotting. It does an incredible amount of stuff in a little handheld unit. And but I remember the day when that concept just popped into my mind as I was playing on a workbench on a Sunday afternoon. And but anyway, it's
yeah, you just kind of like invented the whole antenna analyzer field, didn't you?
Yeah, it came out of just fooling around. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, some of the best products out kind of did that. People just kind of stumbled across them, came up with a notion, and that's really taken off. It's a great piece of gear. It's pretty amazing where ideas start from. Right.
You just got to follow through on them, and
Lucky for us, you did.
yeah. Also, I noticed you've got a new mount. You got a lot of different unique antenna mounts. Like if you don't want to drill a hole in your vehicle, I've seen the car tag mounts that you made, very heavy duty. Bob Heil uses one of those.
Oh wow!
But you've got another one now for us folks who have pickups that don't have the post hole in them where you can put a mount. You just mount it in the corner, huh?
Yeah, you just push it right up against the corner of your pickup and put a couple screws in it, and it has hose for different kind of mounts, things like SO239s and NMOs and 3/8 by 24 mounts. So it's a multi-purpose mount, and it's really pretty heavy duty. It's made of very thick aluminum, and it's only $14.95.
I'm gonna have to check that one out. I've got a kind of a homemade one, and it's not quite as sturdy as I'd like it, so I may check that out before I leave here.
Yeah, that does look pretty good. It gives me some ideas on what I can do in my little Nissan pickup.
Yeah. Let me mention that new clock that we have.
Yeah. I have seen that, and as a matter of fact, we've given a couple of those away on the air before.
Okay.
And
Well, that's a true dual clock with UTC and any of the U.S. time zones. It's an atomic clock, and it's got an ID timer built in and backlighted. It's really made for ham radio. It's specifically tooled and geared up for ham radio operation.
And it looks like everything you could ask for. It's 2 large displays there that us hams can actually see.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially for old fogies like myself who can't see anyway.
And you don't have to worry about tuning around to WWV. This thing takes care of all that for you.
Takes care of it.
Well, Martin, we really appreciate you joining us today and taking a few minutes out from the booth, because I know you stay busy over there and with a lot of friends and new friends coming by and checking out everything. Have you got any final words you'd like to leave the viewers and the people here at Hamvention?
Well, I hope everyone has a good time, and you all came a long way, so spend some money.
Spend some money. That sounds like good advice. All right, Martin, thanks for being here and everything you do for ham radio.
Thank you, Jim.
Right.
Yeah, it's always good to visit with you.
Calling all stations. The most popular on-air event is here. Field Day, June 25th and 26th. Make sure your Icom equipment is ready for action. Limited space? No problem. The IC7100 base station is a great compact D-Star option. Angled control head and touchscreen for quick, intuitive operation, large internal speaker for clear digital audio, and it's perfect for multi-bands and all-mode communications. Be one of the first to experience how Icom is changing the way receivers are being designed with Icom's new IC7300. It will exceed expectations. RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope, and SD memory card slot. The sky's no limit with IC9100, the versatile all-around transceiver, multi-band, multi-mode, independent dual receivers, satellite mode operation, optional D-Star DV mode with the UT121, and USB connector for PC control. Visit IcomAmerica.com/amateur for more information on Icom's radios. Hi, John Amodeo. Good to see you, John.
Good to see you. Tommy?
John,
Good to see
glad
you.
you could join us.
Where's Peter?
Yeah, he's still down under.
Yeah, still down under.
Well, hello through the airwaves to Peter.
For those of you who don't know, and of course, John's call sign, NN6JA. We know about you because of some television shows, or a particular television show that occasionally features ham radio.
Yes, thank you. Well, I guess we're talking about Last Man Standing.
Yeah,
Last Man
absolutely.
Standing is an ABC television sitcom that airs on Friday nights on ABC, 7 o'clock Central Time. And Tim Allen's character happens to be a ham radio operator. And his fictitious call sign is K0NEB. And we created that call sign so we would have a call sign. It's a cleared call sign, much the same way a 555 telephone number would be on a movie. That you're probably familiar with that idea. We didn't want to conflict with anybody's real call sign or get into any kind of trouble with the FCC, so we actually used the ARRL to help us clear that call sign with the FCC.
Oh, great.
So we know you're a longtime ham radio operator. How did ham radio get written into the show here?
Well, when I met Tim Allen in our very first meeting, in fact, we talked about the character traits he would have. Mike Baxter would be the vice president of a sporting goods store called Outdoor Man. It's a fictitious sporting goods store. And he would be a great hunter, camper, fisher, and he would be well-versed in all those technologies. And Mike Baxter himself would be a bit of a survivalist. He would have a bomb shelter and freeze-dried food and generators. And Tim said to me, and I would have radio equipment. And of course that piqued my interest, being an amateur. I said, what do you mean by that, Tim? And he said, ham radio. I said, okay, well, I was a ham most of my life, and I think I can help you out with that. So we decided Mike Baxter will be an extra class ham radio operator. So we have the power, because of a prop department, to print a license for him, a perfect replica of an FCC extra class license. And we then contacted a number of manufacturers, and it was really Ray Novak who came to our initial rescue by offering to loan us some equipment for the show. So we started out with, I think we started out with a 9100, and then we've now progressed through a number of Icom radios over the years. At the moment we have a 7851, which is a pretty good little radio.
Beautiful piece of gear.
Yeah, and it's got a 5100 on top of it, because we like to have something for D-Star each season. That's in Mike's office, and then in Mike's basement ham shack we have a 7600, also with a 5100 on it, because, again, we like to have something for D-Star. So, being not just a producer, but being a ham, I wanted to make those stations functional. So we put some antennas on the roof of the stage with the help of Mick at Comet and Emmett at Radio Waves. And we have a number of antennas on the roof of our stage. It's about 60 or 70 feet in the air, not a bad place. And made all of our equipment practical. So now we have a fully functional ham radio station on a primetime network's television show.
That's pretty wild. And he had a 7700 in his basement at one point, didn't he?
Yeah.
That 7700's in my ham shack now.
That's terrific.
I didn't know. I got it from Icom. I knew it was not new when I got it, but there was a piece of gaffer's tape covering the Icom logo on the user manual. And I said, Ray, why is this on there? Oh, you know where that radio came from, don't you? And I said, no. He
That's
said
very funny.
Yeah.
Well, producers, we're very conscious of brands and endorsing brands. So you will, you will notice that we are sometimes obsessive about that.
Nice.
That's an amazing radio. The 7700, well, the whole 7000 series line is fantastic. And I've progressed through the 7000 myself and the 7100, which is my current radio. And I get to use the 7600 at work and the 7851 at work as well. Now the crew is taking well to their ham radio equipment. To make the show more realistic for us, I didn't want the crew to just walk by the equipment and not really understand what it was. And in fact, in order to get content about ham radio on the show, to get the writers to address the ham radio world, we not only did we make the equipment practical, but we started to encourage the crew members to become licensed. So we provided them training material, some of Gordon's training material, and some other things, and some incentives. One in particular, that anyone that got a license would get a free handheld radio. And over the years, we've been doing this for about 5 seasons, and over the 5 seasons, we've gotten 35 people to get their license.
35.
That's incredible.
Wow.
And that's out of a crew of 150. So it's a pretty good percentage.
That's a very good percentage.
Yeah. And it's not just text; it's text to extra, all the way to extra. And then last season, we instituted a policy to actually use the gear more frequently, because we can't put too much about ham radio on the show. Quite frankly, our mission is our 8.25 million viewers, and not that many of them are hams, probably, I suppose, and we don't want to confuse them or turn them off. So we want to show them ham radio, but we can't sort of hit them too hard with it. But we want to get use out of that gear. So we instituted the policy this year of allowing the crew who are licensed to go on the radio during our dinner breaks. And that really was successful. The crew loved it, and the hams responded like gangbusters. They got on. We pretty much, every time we get on the radio, we cause a pileup.
Wow.
Yeah. So when do you have those? I think you generally post them on some of the social media sites, right?
I do. We maintain a Facebook page for just the ham radio aspect of Last Man Standing, and it's the K0NEB Facebook page. And if we're going to go on the air that night, we will always post on Tuesdays, generally Tuesdays, that we're going to go on, what frequency, and when we're going to be on. And then people can follow us along. And then, if we have a band change or frequency change, we'll update it. But within minutes, we're usually spotted, and we're usually getting pretty decent pileups. In fact, I might have...
We might have
or I don't know where the cameras are, but maybe you can get an insert and cut it in later.
Actually, I brought one.
How do we do that?
Let's see.
That's one of the pictures, George.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the
shack.
That's the shack, and that's Mr. Allen at the radio. That might be the 76 or 7700. I can't see it from here. And by the way, there's an Ameritron amplifier next to it. I didn't see you had Martin on.
Yeah.
That's an ALS 5000. which is not a real amplifier.
Limited edition, right?
It's an edition of one. The fact is, it's really just a box with lights inside.
Oh, yeah.
We've got another couple of shots there. And
there's
this
the
is, yeah.
Yeah, that's the actual Mike Baxter's office desk. And I guess that's the 7851. There's a lot of great equipment. The ham community has been very kind to us. There's a 781, a PR781 Gold supplied to us by Mr. Heil. And that's the mic we use during our staff and crew operations. And, it's just been, there's a 5100 on top. But I can't tell you how much fun it is to not just have our crew get to use the radios, but to have our fans called directly into the show.
Yeah.
And frankly, it's minutes before we go to the audience. As we're on the air, the audience is loading in. The DJ is just starting to play music, and the warm-up comedian starts to entertain our 200 audience members. The audience often looks down at us and go, "What the heck are they doing down there on that radio?" And then usually I'm watching the clock, and a few minutes before we have to actually bring the actors in and start the show, we'll pull the plug and go over into show mode.
I recognize a few of those QSL cards on there.
Yeah, there's a better picture of that.
There might be some VIPs in there.
There could be, yeah.
I believe the entire cast of Ham Nation and Amateur Logic.
Yeah, I recognize a few people on there.
Are in there somewhere. Absolutely.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. I see mine.
Now, I want to thank you guys, because I had, as something for myself that was fun, I had Last Man Standing Amateur Radio Club T-shirts printed. And I have to say, thank you so much, because I noticed you guys wore them a couple of times.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, really appreciate you sending it.
No, it's my pleasure. And I know I sent one to Peter, too. I don't know if he got it already, because it's pretty far away.
Yeah, I haven't heard yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be wearing it on the show if he has.
I hope he does. And they're just the softest, nicest shirts I could find. But it got me into a lot of trouble, because some people started emailing. It's like, where can I get one of those shirts? Like, well, I'm afraid you can't. They're very limited edition shirts.
They are super comfortable, too.
Yeah, I know. Once you put them on, you don't want to take them off.
Yeah. And we saw one over in the Ham Nation forum earlier today.
There's one special guy that's here that was very helpful to the show. So that actually gives you an honorary membership in the KA6 LMS Amateur Radio Club.
Oh,
and
awesome.
I have that QSL card. There it is. And I'll leave one behind for whatever
great.
guest.
Thank you.
So that if you successfully contact us on HF, or to be quite honest, even if we work D-Star, I guess, we confirm your contact, and we do QSL with the KA6 LMS QSL card. It's become a pretty sought-after card.
Yeah, I want to get one myself. Unfortunately, I'm usually out of town and not near my HF rig. So if you guys start doing it on D-Star, I may be able to do that.
We'll do a D-Star night. I think the D-Star, we like D-Star too, and of course we like to support Icom and their endeavors with D-Star. The first big special event we ever had from the stage was a D-Star event. Oh, so we'll have to reprise that.
I remember that.
Yeah, and that was just crazy. We had a good time.
So, do you see our friend Julian ever?
I do see Julian. Yeah, Julian is super helpful, because as the producer, I'm kind of busy sometimes. So when we try to have real live amateur radio on the show, it's difficult for me to produce the show and then be the guy that they call when there's a trouble. So, you can imagine the prop people that administer all this gear. In fact, two of them are hams now, but they're techs. They don't know too much about it. If somebody bumps a VFO and it goes off frequency, I'm going to get a telephone call, or they're going to call me on a radio. So oftentimes, if I'm going to do anything really related to ham radio, I'll bring Julian N3JF up from his home, and he'll spend the day with us, and he'll help shepherd the ham radio gear.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He really is.
Yes, he's become a good friend.
Well, that's great. John, anything you want to tell the audience here and on the live recording, I guess we would call it?
Well, I can say that the most important thing to say is that we were just picked up for our 6th season.
Yeah,
that
congratulations.
is great.
I'm glad to hear that, because honestly, that's my wife and my favorite show.
Oh, I'm so glad
we never miss it.
Thank you.
That and The Walking Dead. So
I
you're ranking with The Walking
love
Dead.
The
That's
Walking
pretty
Dead.
good.
Yeah. And they're so similar, those two shows.
Yeah. We're kind of stuck in the same genre there.
No, they're great. Well, that gives us 22 more episodes this year. And we are, of course, already in syndication. We're on Country Music Television. We're on Lifetime. We're on Hallmark, sorry, not Lifetime. And we're on what was called ABC Family, which is now called Freeform. So we're all over the place, and we're available on Hulu and on the net and a few other places. So if you want to see Last Man Standing, there's opportunities to see it, and it's worth seeing. It is.
Yeah, it's a great show. It's really funny.
Thank you. It's a fun. It's a family-friendly show. You know, you wouldn't have to be embarrassed to watch it with your grandmother or your children.
So are you currently working on any other shows, or does this take so much focus that you can only do one at a time?
I can only really usually do one at a time. I did do a pilot this summer for a potential television series, but that's just sort of all producers, something to fill out our summer jobs. But when I do Last Man, I'm there from early in the morning till late at night. It's not a terribly difficult show to produce, but it does require your full attention. My other thing is that I'm trying to get my WS, and I've never worked Delaware. And I need somebody from your audience on HF to work me from Delaware. There you go.
There you go. Somebody should step up.
Call me from Delaware.
Well, John, thanks for being here, and thanks for all that you and the crew over at Last Man Standing are doing to kind of promote the hobby. I know it's, you can't have a show about ham radio, can you? But not on network television.
I cannot do an entire. I had a suggestion from a viewer. So please do an entire episode in CW.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm sure that would go over really well.
I couldn't do it. I thought the last clicking you would hear would be the remote control changing the channel. So no, I couldn't do it. But we will do as much as we can, as often as we can.
I understand.
So call us up, and we'll send you a QSL code.
Yeah, how can you get tickets to come and be in the audience when you
you
actually
could get
shoot?
tickets very easily, because you would just call me up and I would send them to you. But no, it's very easy. To get tickets really to almost any television sitcom in Los Angeles, you go on a website called tvtickets.com. But I urge urge your audience that when ham radio operators come to see Last Man Standing, that they email me ahead of time, and I'm just jamadeo.tv@gmail.com, or that's it. And I usually bring hams down to the set and let them take pictures with the Mike Baxter radio station. So it's a little bit special to be a ham and come to see our show.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That would be fun.
You might need to bring the family out for a trip.
You might, and you might need to come out and work the station and make a pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be great.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks again.
At the end of each month, it's AmateurLogic's Ham College, the new show for those new to the hobby and those wanting to get into amateur radio.
Which of the following is a purpose of the amateur radio service as stated in the FCC rules and regulations?
That inductor and capacitor form a tuned circuit. That's how you tune the radio to the frequency that you want. The English language.
We lived in town. I liked it. I listened to mine a lot. It was really cool because you didn't have to have a battery to power it.
There's our homemade telegraph station. We can use it for long distance communications. 3 feet here?
Across the table. The answer is B. Voltage was named after Italian physicist Alessandro Volta.
We can see we're generating a little bit of electricity there. It's DC.
It's always great to go back and get a refresher.
It sure is.
A lot of that stuff, if you've been a ham for a while like we have, you don't really think about a lot of that stuff that often.
They didn't have electric screwdrivers in those days, so that's why we're not using ones.
That's why we went primitive with it.
Yeah. So let's see if we can hear anything when we fire off our spark gap transmitter.
Oh yeah.
Well, we didn't build anything or blow up anything today, but
the night's still young.
This is our friend Chris. Chris Brault. Did I pronounce that right? Huh?
You're close. It's French Canadian. It's bro.
Bro. Okay, bro.
You're close. You're close.
Okay.
All right.
Good to have you on here, man.
There we go. Thank you.
We talked to
Good to
you
be
last year out here, and we saw you in Huntsville as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so
we did,
we
which
got to
was
meet your
awesome.
entire family in Huntsville.
Hello, everybody.
yeah. Tommy, you notice how he went right for the microphone. He knows how to work it. You've been on the air,
he's a
haven't you?
natural.
I have.
Yeah.
Not. Well, we did this special event yesterday, which was awesome. It was 1.5 kilowatts, and it was an Icom 7851, I believe.
Oh, the big one.
Oh, it was the
nice.
big one. It was nice. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing that, and it was the big 20-meter hex beam out there. So
Yeah.
it's really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Try not to be so shy too. I can tell you, mic fright.
just a little bit.
Just a little
Just
bit.
a little bit. So yeah,
So how old are you, Chris?
I am 13.
13. How long have you been licensed?
2.5, 2 years, somewhere
okay.
around there.
Okay, so you got it when you were 11.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's great. And what class are you now?
I am a general.
General. Oh,
So
that's
working on extra,
awesome. You'll have that in no time, I'm sure.
probably.
Yeah. So,
So have you got any friends your age that?
I have
are
my
hams?
friend Sam. Sam, where are you? There he is, upstage
Sam's
over there.
hanging
So
up over the
he
side of
does
the
Morse
stage.
code, and
Yeah, come around.
I need to learn. Yeah.
Oh.
Sam,
Here, just, okay.
you coming on stage?
Oh, he's coming up here. Okay.
Okay.
You're gonna interrupt me.
Yeah, it's great to see a lot of young people getting their tickets now.
Yeah.
There he
So-
is.
Well, and then my brother over there is trying to work on his tech. So
There's your
All right.
brother.
yeah, there.
Yeah,
And
you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck on that. I know you can do it, and you've got a good Elmer right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And his dad, too.
I got
Yeah.
my dad.
It's Jocelyn.
Yeah.
Good
I
to
got
see
you
you
too.
and the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and us. Yeah.
And you too.
We do a little Elmering.
Yeah.
A little bit here and there.
Just, just a wee bit.
So I'm curious to have you tried to share amateur radio with any of your friends at school? Get some of those.
Yeah, I
to get
brought my
going?
radio to school once, and the teacher said, "Go put that in your locker." What the heck is that? And Just thought I was some crazy maniac. So
I may need to work on the teacher too then.
yeah.
Yeah, we
Just-
actually saw you recently in Huntsville.
Yes, we did.
This is the scene snap taken right before the
Yeah.
big snipe hunt, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Okay.
Have you caught one yet?
No, we need to do that. When is it? Is it tonight or tomorrow?
I
we're
think
doing
it's
it?
tonight.
It's tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make tonight, but we'll try.
Have you
Yeah.
got the sticks and the bags ready? Because we couldn't get them on the plane.
I have the sticks. I don't know if I have. I can try and find some bags.
Yeah,
If
hope-
not, we'll just use the backpack of my dad or
hopefully
mom's
it'll
purse.
quit raining so the bag won't get wet or it'll just get out.
Hey, we'll use my hat. That's what we'll do.
That'll work. That'll work perfectly. Well, you brought some other photos with you to show us some of your projects, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit with Arduino recently, which is great. Yeah, you're watching Amateur Logic if you didn't know that. And so, yeah, I haven't done too much. I found on the internet how to make a little LCD work, so I bought an LCD and then I programmed it. And yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a lot of fun. Those things are great. What other projects have you done with the Arduino? Have you done anything else?
Few flashing lights and light
flashing-
programs, but
Yeah,
nothing,
just get started.
crazy advanced.
Yeah, well, that's a great way to get started. It's
Yeah.
pretty easy. It's a lot of people are kind of intimidated when you have to write those lines of code.
I know.
but,
All my friends will be like, "Chris, go to the back computer and just code," and I'll just like pull up Arduino and I'll just start coding. They'll be like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's code."
Boy, isn't it fun?
Yeah.
And I love
lot.
the Arduino.
Oh man, that's one
yeah.
of my favorite things to do.
Oh, and I'm doing a little bit with Raspberry Pi, just the basic stuff. My dad and me used to have a Minecraft server running like 2 years ago or something.
yeah?
So,
Oh, cool.
but if I were to put that up today, I'd probably need a lot of updates and stuff.
Yeah. So what opportunities do you have to get on the radio? I see you've got a handy talkie here.
I have a handy talkie.
You got a mobile too, don't you?
For 2 meters, yes.
You got a
And then-
bicycle
bicycle mobile, yes. So I pretty much have an external antenna, and I put the walkie-talkie, hook that up, and it works really well. Farthest I've talked is probably, probably somewhere in Kentucky on the repeater. So
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay. And so how are you powering that? You just using the handy talkie battery, or you got an extra battery?
yeah, I
in
just
there?
use the handy talkie battery. Nothing too complicated.
Then
so.
then a little mag mount antenna on the back on
Yep.
the fender.
Yep, there's a little cookie sheet, maybe about that big, like a note card size, and you have that, and then the mag mount's on top. So
Okay, great. That's a great idea. Maybe I need to put that on my motorcycle like that. I don't have one on my
Maybe.
motorcycle yet.
Yeah, you can't get Tommy to hardly mount an antenna, you know?
Yeah, I'm not going to drill a hole in any of my vehicles.
no, I don't. Well,
But I'll
only-
go drill one in George's, but I don't want to drill one in my own.
I'll help you with that.
Okay.
You might want to run, George.
I might want to, yeah.
Yeah, actually, he just got a new vehicle not long ago and was talking about mounting his antenna. I tried to talk him into drilling a hole in it, but there's still no hole, so
Well-
don't let him fool you.
I hadn't figured out where to mount the rig. I'm going to drill the hole for the antenna as soon as I do that.
Okay, I'm going to come video it when you do it.
So you work any special events?
Yeah, we do the Voice of America in September. We have our anniversary, and that's field day outside of the Voice of America, which is awesome. And yeah, that was at night. I think I made 695 or so contacts, so that was good.
That's
And,
impressive.
Yeah.
And we went on a tour of that. And we did a video of that not too long ago. It was a lot of fun. If you haven't been out there to see the Voice of America Museum, I really recommend going to see that.
Yeah, it's actually going to be open tonight, 6 to 9:30. So.
Oh yeah, it was perfect time then.
I know. So.
Yeah, right after the snipe hunt.
Yes, right after the snipe hunt.
We're joking about.
Or we could do the snipe hunt at VOA. That might be an even better idea.
I think that would be fantastic. You know, we're talking about the snipe hunt here because we had a big time with that in Huntsville.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, Chris had never heard of a snipe hunt. Probably a lot of people up here may not have. I think it's kind of a southern thing.
Yeah.
So
I
Google
don't know
it
if
if
Mike
you haven't.
VE3 MIC. I don't know if you've heard of a snipe hunt.
Well, we may have to take him with us.
you know, he's a Canadian like your father, and
I know.
I think they would make a great snipe hunting crew.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
You can get a lot more with teamwork.
We'll have like 3 bag holders and people chasing snipe. See, we got this all worked out.
You know, Chris just is a natural for the whole snipe hunting phenomenon.
Yeah. I mean, I know really it's a joke, but seriously, I could go do it.
Yep, and probably come out with a snipe at the end of it.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then I just take my tape antenna and just try and find that little snipe.
Oh, so this is it.
Yeah, that's it. So I homebrewed that with my dad, and it's just tape, PVC, and some hose clamps. So.
Yeah, those are fun. I made one of those on the show a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You use those for satellite?
Yeah.
Is that what you did with it?
Yeah, we got SSTV from the space station a while back with it.
Oh, nice.
So.
A lot of fun.
Cool.
Pretty handy little antennas. I like because you can just fold it down
Yeah,
and
exactly.
take it with you.
Well, it looks like you could get a lot of use out of that handy talkie there. It's about time that Mom and Dad bought you an upgrade. Maybe
We have a K0NEB 707, which is a 50-watt mobile rig, and that's the house 2 meter, so that works pretty well.
Cool.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you haven't talked to any of your friends in school and to get in their ticket yet, huh?
A few,
A few?
but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Keep working on them. You'll wear them down.
Yeah.
Yep. When they see how much fun you're having.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
And you can get them in the Arduino and Raspberry Pi Club
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, the Raspberry Pi stuff seems to be kind of popular with a lot of the younger people because it's more like a computer. You don't have to really write code for it.
You do, but you don't. If you know what I mean.
Depends on how nerdy you want to get with it. So, all right.
Well, Tommy, do you have any? I know we got together and tag teamed it on what we might talk with Chris about. I think you've got all the notes there. Did we cover everything, or was there?
We got most of them.
I think so.
Chris's family is here with him too. He lets them come to the Ham
I
Fest.
do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great. They do a lot of father and son stuff together. I think didn't you guys go down to Orlando
Yes.
to the Ham Fest
Yep,
as well?
we did that.
Yep.
I mean, I would love to drive, but I don't think I'm allowed
And you
yet.
both can't get on that bicycle,
No,
right?
can't fit everybody.
It'd
on.
be
I want to
tough.
get on that bicycle and go down to Orlando, but dang,
Yeah,
it just
it's
takes
just
too
just
long.
a
By the
little
time I
slow.
get there, like a whole year has passed.
Well, and your battery
So-
would be dead too, you know. So
Yeah,
True. So,
yeah. I'll just hook it up that as I'm pedaling, it charges it or something.
Okay.
We'll figure something out.
so what got you interested in ham radio?
Probably my dad, because he did Jourdain as a scout, and then he started. He got his tech license, and then he did radio in the car, and then I would be in the back seat, and I'd be like, "Let me talk."
Say hi,
So-
Dad.
Hi.
Jocelyn.
so you in Boy Scouts?
I was
Oh, you were. Oh, got to go.
for a little bit. but
Yeah. I was in Scouts too. It was a lot of fun. We had the guy that's over at K2BSA yesterday.
Yeah.
He's a pretty
I
nice
saw
guy.
him. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's great. His dad was here with us too.
Yeah.
Well, did you have anything in particular you wanted to talk about, Chris, or we pretty much
I think
covered
we
it
pretty
all?
much covered everything. I mean,
Well,
so.
we've run into you everywhere we go, it seems like.
I
and
know.
We always have a big
It's like
time.
I turn a corner and there's Tommy and George. I turn another corner. Oh, there's Tommy and George.
Yeah,
I mean,
we
you guys
kinda
are
get-
like Jack in the Boxes. You're
Well, we
always
kind of get
popping
around
up.
too a lot like you. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
you never know where we're going to turn out.
not quite as popular. Now your hat here,
Yes.
Is this Don
Famed
Wilbanks
fedora.
inspired?
Yes and no. I don't know when he got his, but I know I've had mine for maybe a few years. And we did the Blues Brother thing in Huntsville. I think it was last year. So
And
he's like, "You got a fedora?" I'm like, "Yes, let's do it." So
and your stage name, is that Cincinnati Short Rib? Is that what he named
that's
you?
it. He's Blind Mississippi Ham Bone and then Cincinnati Short Rib. So
Yep.
Nice.
yes,
That sounds just like something Don would come up with.
Yeah.
probably.
So you're big in the VOA museum organization.
Yes.
Yeah, I know you.
Here, hold on.
Okay.
Haha, there's the badge.
Okay, you're official.
I am official. Finally.
What about WLW? Have you been out to that site?
I have. Actually, when we turn off the projector at school, WLW will come in because the school is only like a mile away. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
A lot of radio history there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive site too.
Yeah. Well, Chris, thanks for being with us.
No problem.
It's
Thanks
great
for
to
having
see
me.
you again. And, just keep on hamming and bring as many more young people into the hobby as you can. Bring some old folks, too, if you want to. I mean, we don't care. We just need more hams.
You,
Oh, yeah.
you, the audience that is watching this. Yeah, and these people.
Yep. All of these
So,
people.
yeah.
So,
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks. See if you can work on that mic fright too. Maybe.
Yeah.
yeah. All right, Chris, you have a good rest
All right.
of the Hamvention.
Let's go catch some snipe.
There you go. We'll see you at the snipe hunt
See you
tonight.
next time. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.
Let's not fall off.
Boy, he's a character, isn't he, Tommy?
Yeah, he's a pistol.
I didn't think we'd ever get him up close to the mic, but
Yeah. Yeah, he's a little bit shy, but he'll work on that.
good to see you again, my friend.
Yeah, good to see you, Mike.
Good to see you, Tommy.
So they let you across the border again?
Well, there's a story to that.
Oh,
I don't know if we have time for it.
sure.
Well,
Go
we
ahead.
got
You
stopped
might-
at customs, and the customs officer asks, "Where are you boys going?" And we said, "Dayton Hamvention." And he said, "What's that?" So we had to go through the whole explanation of what's ham radio. Jerry, who was driving the vehicle at the time, had to explain propagation, and he says, "Well, who do you talk to? How far can you talk?" And he says, "Well, we can talk around the world." Well, he didn't understand, so had to get into this very brief explanation about propagation and how, if the conditions are right, we can talk around the world. So anyway, we're talking about the Dayton Hamvention, and he didn't know what that was, and there may have been mention of AmateurLogic, and at that point he said, "I never heard of it. Move along."
Yeah, so you could have mentioned that to start with and got right on through.
Well, I guess we should have started out with a disclaimer.
Well, I was hoping you were going to tell me you made another ham there at the crossing.
Well, I didn't, but it may be a future ham.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah. Well, Mike, we know you from, I guess, from Google Plus, huh? Is
Google
that-
Plus is where
and
I
emails.
do most of my damage, yes.
Yeah. And you just thought you would do us a favor at one point and Photoshop a couple of scenes from AmateurLogic, and it's just kind of become a tradition, hasn't it?
I've been stereotyped, apparently, so it's almost expected now. I mean, occasionally I put stuff of value on there that are technical in nature, but a lot of times it's just to have some fun.
Yeah, they're great.
Well, you brought a load of them here today, and we just want to look at a few of them. And this is just from the past year, and this is not everything from the past year.
No, there's, I don't know, I lost count, but
There's so many. So many.
Yeah. Well, here's the first one. Describe to us what's going on in this famous movie scene.
I think that's from the SMD Kid. That
Yeah.
one, I think George, you're trying to place components on a circuit board with those
I think-
chopsticks.
Either that or eat rice. I'm not sure what I was doing
And
there.
you got some of the Icom tape around your
Yeah.
head
Yes.
there.
Some of
That's
the
pretty
tape
awesome.
you see around the building here or around the booth. You know, when they got that printed for last year's show that we did here, and there's a minimum quantity of that tape you can get printed at one time. So we ended up with I don't know, like 2,500 feet or something after the show. They said, here, y'all can have this. So Tommy and I found good uses for it. This is one of them.
That's a great use. It
Well,
works good to mark off your field day spot, too.
I think we have more uses for that tape.
Oh, I think we do have more uses for it.
It's so versatile.
Oh, as a matter of fact, here's another use right here. What is this famous movie?
Hambo.
Hambo.
believe. Yes.
Hambo.
Yes. Somebody was threatening to take away your HF station, I believe, and you weren't going to have anything to do with that.
No. There again, the tape came in real handy for this. Yeah, when they saw this, they just instantly left it alone. And another use of the tape. This is one of my favorites right here.
Yeah. My wife's not real happy about this one.
Cowboy Tom.
Cowboy Tom. What is that lady doing to the horse? You know, that's what I've always wondered. But boy,
your guess is as good as mine.
But there again, the tape came in handy.
She's an awe, but I'm not sure if it's because of the horse or because of Tommy.
Yeah, it's true.
She's reading the tape.
Oh, okay. Oh, and yeah, this is a more recent one here, isn't it?
Those are words to live by. Believe in your smelf. And the backstory to this is, and for those who have never been participated in the live recording in the chat room, there's a lot going on, and you can just ask these two guys. And sometimes it gets a little carried away, and I think that you were taking some heat over that shirt you wore, and I think there was a comment, I don't know whether you said it or Tommy said it, but something about a Russian naval commander or something like that. So that one was just too good to let go.
It was just kind of like set up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It looks like you work at Captain D's.
All right, what have we got? Oh, yeah, this is another. This is one of the more famous ones. It's from my rock and roll career.
Absolutely, and I believe that was a quote that you came up with yourself.
Yeah, I think this one was on Ham Nation during the Smoke and Solder segment one time.
It was.
For those about to solder, we salute you.
That was pretty awesome.
Oh, and this is from my disc jockey days.
Yes. I'm not sure. What was the station you were working at then?
WKOZ. It was first station I worked at. I was a disc jockey, 16 years old.
Sorry about the hair, George. I didn't get the color right.
You were rocking the bangs too, man. Not a lot of people could wear it like that.
That's when I decided I had the voice of an engineer, and I changed, to the other side of the microphone. But let's see, what else do we have here?
Oh yes, Thomas, makers of fine internet wands. That was actually that piece of coax that caused you all your internet problems.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Okay,
I was wondering where the inspiration for that one came from.
That's where that came from. Yeah, that's that piece of. I don't know, what is that? Is that a form of hardline or something?
That was a RG6, I believe, that the cable company had installed, and the squirrels chewed it. Was this the one with the end?
The end wasn't crimped
with
on.
With the sucking problem.
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently, that foam insulation that's in the middle of your television coax needs to come all the way flush on the inside of the F connector. You can't have it pull back. Caused all kinds of bandwidth issues. As a matter of fact, took Comcast 3 trips to figure out what was going on and to fix it. But I got a $20 discount on my bill for a year. So
not bad.
Yep. This one I don't even want to talk about.
Well, the explanation.
I've seen that one.
Another one. Again, somebody commented. I can't even remember because I didn't even pick up on it until there was a bunch of chatter in the chat room about the. I don't know whether they were shorts or pants you were wearing that day, but anyway, that was a comment that somebody was made, and then it just went downhill from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't watch the live recording, then you're kind of missing out on a lot because it's almost a sideshow in itself.
Oh,
in the chat room.
absolutely.
Yeah, and
Absolutely.
we have to cut a lot of it out. Otherwise, we'd have 3-hour shows sometimes.
Well, I mean, again, there's words to live by. Any fool can be uncomfortable.
Okay, another one of my favorites here.
Yes, this is a reference to, of course, Animal House, which reminded me a lot from the logo and such of Ham College, and another Georgism that's words to live by. Not getting your ham license is no way to go through life, son.
Absolutely. We need to put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, we got that.
Shit.
With the picture.
And now, this was the picture of the dean, but I think we decided,
That's Dean Thomas.
yeah, that I should really be a professor and it should be Dean Martin.
Yeah.
That works too.
Oh, now this one is one of the most sought after characters. I don't see him in the booth right now.
I missed that party, but it looks like it was one heck of a party, and it looks like he got into the Icom tape as well.
Yeah.
Rock and Ray's Happy 4th of July.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the 4th Icom tape.
Yep. We had hoped to have a performance with Rock and Ray here this year at Hamvention, but
Ray's everywhere. Like, I'll see him, and then he's gone, and then he's on the other side of the.
He's a busy
Hamvention.
fellow.
okay.
Yes, and we had some holidays come up recently, and Happy Father's Day. And may the smoke and solder be with you,
And there's Darth Ray on the right.
Darth Ray.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes, we haven't seen Peter in a while, but Peter, I think he has a side job that nobody was really sure about, but he doubles as Lobot and does disco parties.
No, I see why he's been keeping that on the down low.
yeah. I do too. Oh, another classic.
Well, that's Tommy Dirt, and
Business in the front, party in the back.
you got it. And that came about by yet again some reference to mullets. I'm not sure how that came out.
Yeah, somehow or another we got on talking about that during the live stream again.
Tommy actually sported a mullet back in the day, I think. I never had one, but apparently it was...
It wasn't quite that awesome.
Yeah.
If you call that awesome.
Oh, but there's another.
That's
There's more mullet than this.
Oh yeah.
This one is Mac Martin.
Yeah, it looks like I cut my own hair.
This is when you were making the nuclear weapons with PVC. Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Scotch tape.
I think it started out as an antenna launcher, but it just got carried away from there.
It
Yeah.
does a nice job.
Yeah. Can you say overkill?
A little bit.
Yeah. All right, I think we've got a few here since we are in the Icom booth. You and I, these all took place off of the internet, really, I think. Or I'm not sure that they ever got posted or not, but we were just...
They didn't get posted, but things... This is all the Icom 7300 live demo that you did with Ray a few weeks back or last month.
Yeah.
And there was a flurry of emails going back and forth, and it just got sillier and sillier.
Yeah.
And we thought we'd make up some phony Icom promo ads based on some of the footage that George shot.
Yeah. Even our head sales dude can't keep his hands off the new IC 7300. And this was a clip out of the video that we shot of the 7300 before it was released. But there's another one that, boy, I kind of like this one here.
Yeah. You know, he was able to get out of that pretty easy, too.
He was, that tape is not as heavy as it looks. The IC 7300, you'll do anything.
You'll go to any length to get
Any
one.
length to get one, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was a perfect shot of Tommy there being caught, it looks like.
Yeah, I was red-handed, man. I was busted.
And one more, and this is my favorite of the series, Mike. This is our last Photoshop for tonight, but I think it deserves the grand finale place.
You're in command with the 7300. I wish I could show you the other ones that didn't make the cut, but it's a family rated show, so.
Yeah. But boy, that was perfect. I mean, how did you even think of that?
I don't know. I don't know. I remember the movie, and you remember how intense that scene was, where the pilot's trying to land the plane. Well, it looks like Ray's so intense on running that 7300. It just, I don't know. It just sprung to mind.
Has he seen these?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think anybody's seen them.
He will see them.
Oh, he will.
Yeah, he'll see them.
Yeah. Well, Mike, we always enjoy that, and all the foolishness that we're always carrying on. You know, ham radio is just such a great hobby. You meet people that you would never otherwise ever run across, and make new friendships. And this is one of our good ones that we've actually been able to exploit and get some comedic value out of.
It's been a lot of fun, and you know, amateur radio is about having fun, and this is just another aspect, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Another channel, and thank goodness for social media. But,
Yeah.
I almost forgot. I brought you guys some, or I should say, as we Canadians like to say, I scored you guys some souvenirs.
Oh yeah.
Some Canadian swag?
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see here.
No Vegemite, I hope.
Well, actually, you know what, George? I got you something to get rid of the Vegemite aftertaste. I got you some
Dare.
nice maple. Oh, put it on the English side. And Tommy, I got you some Tim's.
Oh, awesome.
Tim.
I'm gonna have to keep. Where's Paul? I'm just gonna have to keep it away from Paul because he had 2 cups of Tim's in here this morning. I tried to get one of them from him, but he wasn't hearing of it.
Premium
Yeah, thank you, man.
cream-filled cookies, maple leaf.
Yeah, we can't get this down there where we are.
No, I've never seen this before. Cool.
And I have to apologize. One of these is a little beat up.
Okay.
But when you're out sign hunting, you can't be too particular at times. So.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Oh my goodness. This is just what we needed,
way.
Tommy.
Yep. We got a real bad problem with that down in the south.
Well, they get bored.
Oh, and somebody's already pre-shot them.
Yes.
Oh, no, not mine, yours.
I'm not sure how far away he was or how many shots he took at it, but I'm looking at that. I'm not 100, but it's pretty tight groupings.
Yeah, that's good shooting right there.
And this is an inside joke too from we used to joke about the moose and you bringing him indoors for the winter.
That all started with Peter's cat.
Yeah, remember
Yeah.
Peter's cat got in and it got under his feet while he was shooting and shooting the show, not shooting the cat. So anyway, we kind of took off on that too. We tend to do that, sort of get something and just run with it.
So
An idea.
coffees, premium maple leaf cookies, and Moose Crossing signs. Mike, I just don't know how we'll ever thank you.
Good to see you guys
Thank you so much.
I tell you what, let's do it again sometime.
Yeah, we should.
We should. As a matter of fact,
Dayton's coming up next year.
Dayton and Christmas is coming up too, and you know how important that is.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I think I have an idea for that one.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, let's.
I think we might have a new artist to feature.
Oh wow.
Another Christmas album?
Could be.
Could be. Okay.
Could be.
All right. Well, we've enjoyed all you who stayed with us this afternoon and helped us shoot these shows.
Thanks to all the guests.
Thanks to all the guests. Thanks to Dara and everyone here at Hamvention. We've had a great time so far, and hey, we've still got the rest of the afternoon and tomorrow to go, so I'm going to hit the flea market.
Well, I'm going to be right behind you.
And there's a number of booths I need to see, so let's get on out of here.
All right. 73,
All right.
everybody.
73, everybody.
73.